being able to salvage anything is because of the immaturity involved in people's behaviors. Meaning, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate, there are times you've been offended, right? And then you decide that it's time for you to have a blockity block party. It's time for you to block, right? Everyone that has earned a block, right? But then there are times that even after you've done that, they don't respect your boundary. And they call you from different numbers, or three-way, or they do crank phone calls, or, they just play games, right? And in my case, it went as far as having to change my phone number, right? Thinking that this would be a new chapter. But I'm learning that even after you do that, although I've gained some more insight recently, which obviously I will be keeping to myself, sometimes they're able to relocate or retrieve the new number that you are using, even after you've blocked your number. And I was under the impression that, and I used to relate that to culture. But again, as I said that earlier in this episode, is that I'm realizing it's not really about culture. It really is about family dynamic. Because just because somebody is from a certain culture does not mean that everyone from that culture doesn't respect themselves. Because that particular culture that those particular people, let me rephrase that, from that particular culture that are refusing to let go and move on, have no reflection to others from that same culture. Who I've been friends with since my school age years. You see what I'm saying? And so that is why we also need to be fair, avoid stereotypes, avoid prejudices, avoid ignorance. Okay? Because it'll get you off your path. And I'm even going to take this even farther. A lot of people love to claim well, our people don't do this and we stick together and let me take this opportunity, and tell you that's nonsense. Can I say that again? Nonsense. And the reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of what I've experienced that was unfair, unjust, criminal, have been done by people that look like me. Yes, I had to say it, people. Yeah. Have been done by people that look like me. It is time for us to begin to rely more on what's inside, on the vibration, on the spiritual strength. Because many people look like you. Many people can even come from the island you come from, or the island you've descended from, or the continent you descended from, or whatever you get the gist. Commonalities does not mean exemption from backstabbing or being stolen from or killed or kidnapped or so forth. It does not mean that. And this is why, let me be quite frank with you. This is one of the reasons why I feel I had to endure certain eye-opening experiences. Right? Because some of us were under the impression that certain people don't do certain things, and certain people have boundaries, and certain people understand no is no, and our people, we have respect. We don't do this, and we don't kiss up, and we don't chase after people, and you'd be surprised. I said you'd be surprised. Let that marinate. Because some people that wear masks and act as if they're untouchable and put up a front, put up a front that they don't chase people, they don't do this, are the main ones who engage in stalking and cowardly enough to participate in gang stalking. And for those of you who are not familiar with that term, because there was a time it was introduced to me. Because it wasn't happening to me, right? And it wasn't happening to anyone in my circle. But all it takes is one rotten apple, right? And then the whole bag is in danger. Sometimes one person, my God, one person that you include in your circle due to not judging the person's character right. They bring this energy. In the same energy, people or agents of the dark presenting themselves in human form. And they come to cause havoc in your lives, right? And this is one of the reasons I'm so selective, because right now, I find myself saying every day, common sense is not so common, right? Because somebody does not have to even tell me, don't call me. You don't even have to tell me that. Do you understand? I call you one time, 2 times. The 3rd time is the last time. Do you feel me? Because if I had enough time, or if I arrange my schedule to include you, and you cannot value me and reciprocate the same amount of courtesy, it's just not meant to be. You understand? That's just how I respect myself. You know, that's something my father always used to say. Respect yourself. Right? Nobody should have to get to the point where you need to block someone, or nobody should have to get to the point where you create a fake profile with someone else's picture. But it's happening. It's happening by my elders. 50-year-olds and 60-year-olds. My God. I just don't get it. But since I was called to share something, I'm just going to do that. It says, you are being encouraged to bring your peaceful self to your relationships, both with those you love, and those who are challenging you. Know that you have it within you to be the angel everywhere you go. I'm going to repeat that. You are being encouraged to bring your peaceful self to your relationships, both